this is to do with the Yadav seats. He makes the point that why just blame Muslims? There were 126 seats where C-voter estimates in Bihar that the Yadav population is dominant, which has more than 15% population. On those seats, the NDA has a strike rate of 80.2%. So therefore, to blame Asaduddin Owaisi is unfair, because the RJD has been bested in its own bastions as well, Veer Sanghvi. To make Owaisi the fall guy is the easiest thing to do. The introspection required is much deeper.
Absolutely. And was it, as some people are now saying, a sort of anyone but Yadavraj sentiment among the other castes? Because they concentrated so much on Yadavs, they have memories of Lalu, where Yadavs got a disproportionate importance. People were scared that would happen, and therefore, even if the Yadavs did vote for them, there was a huge anti-Yadav consolidation which seems to have affected them.
But the young people don't have the memories of Lalu Yadav. And as we were traveling through Bihar, one of the things that we found was that maybe Tejashwi just failed to inspire the young aspirational voter of Bihar because of the fact that he comes from a dynastic political family, his own educational qualifications, his general demeanor. He didn't win the kind of, they looked up to PK. He said, okay, even if they didn't vote for him, they looked up with respect for what he was doing. They didn't have that same kind of respect and regard for Tejashwi. Ajija.
Yes, I felt that too. For example, when I was speaking to various Muslim from the diaspora who were returning, so I found more supporters of Mr. Owaisi than Mr. Tejashwi Yadav. And when I asked them, I said, he's after all the son of Lalu Yadav. Most of them told me कि but वो Lalu Yadav है नहीं, वो Lalu Yadav के तरह मतलब वही what Yogendra pointed out कि वो social coalition खड़ा नहीं कर पाते हैं. The other point that some of them made कि बड़े private है वो लालू जी के तरह सबसे मिलते नहीं हैं. The fact that he's inaccessible, the fact that he doesn't have the same kind of openness with rivals, with colleagues, with the media. I think that was a big point of criticism. And also the fact that when Owaisi ji asked him for 6 seats, he point blankly refused. Now, and looking back, if he would have given those 6 seats, at least the Mahagathbandhan would have an additional 6 seats out here.
At least, maybe more, because symbolically the messaging is stronger. But Veer, is that a fair expectation for the younger politicians? I saw personally when we were in Punya, 8 o'clock, Tejashwi went into his room, it was bolted, nobody could go in, nobody could speak to him, even his own party people were outside. In Lalu's era, you would remember, people could just walk into his bedroom, walk into where he was from early in the morning till late at night, and that's just the way it was. Tejashwi is cut from a different cloth.
Yeah, I think that's clear, and I think there isn't the sort of identification with him that there should be. Young people should be able to look at him and say, this guy is like me, I want to be like him, he reflects my aspirations. They may like him, they may not dislike him, but no, he's nothing like them. And to an extent, Rahul Gandhi has the same problem because of their background.
No, much bigger problem.
Gen Z, typically Gen Z is anti-establishment. Gen Z is defined by we'll change everything, we'll rebel. Look at it all around our neighbors. Gen Z has toppled governments. Here it's just of giving somebody else a vote. We've had opposition people opposition leaders who are younger. There's really no reason why the Gen Z should not gravitate towards them. But yet, Prime Minister Modi's hold on Gen Z, even though he's in his 70s, and of course Nitish's hold, some of these
no, but it's about who do you respect, who do you look up to, Ashok Malik. The fact is, if you've got somebody who's hardworking, professional, self-made, you'd respect that much more than somebody who got it laid out for him on a silver spoon.
The third example you gave, the third term you use, is the most important in an aspirational country, and a country that is still very unequal, self-made. The fact is, an inheritor starts off with a disadvantage. Even if he works hard, people will say, okay, he's got a core base because of his father, because of his mother. And politics is becoming extremely competitive today, not just in India, in any democracy. If you look at the US president, not just the current president, even previous presidents, the day they come into their first term, they start thinking of re-election. That is how politics is. And if you are an inheritor, frankly, you're simply not that hungry.
That's a very big problem.
Abhishek Bachchan and there's an Alia Bhatt. They're both like dynasts, you can say, and they are seen very differently by the public. Alia Bhatt is one of the top talents of the country. Abhishek tried, but he's now seen as somebody not compared to his father a lot more. So I think you need to, you can, as a dynast too. I mean, you have many in the BJP, like Anurag Thakur, who build their own brands, who people almost forget that their dad was so and so. You have to kind of step out of your dad's shoes, almost change things. But some of the things that Lalu did, maybe Tejashwi should do it differently. Akhilesh, if you remember, when he rose, I remember the first thing he did was had a laptop in his hand many years ago, when having a laptop was a kind of a cool thing for a politician to have. So I think some of these things have to be done. You have to take advantage of your dad or whatever, but you have to also come out of the shadow.